learned helplessness. It is a scientific study made in 1965 by Martin Seligman in the University of Pennsylvania. Okay guys, it's a bit unethical, but at this stage it was okay to do these experiments. So he got two groups of dogs and he put the group one of dogs in a cage. And in this cage we'll have electric shock at the bottom, at the floor. And if the dog pressed the lever, the electric shock would stop. And so he did this for a time. And then he changed the cage and then put a cage with a barrier in the middle. And so the electric shock would happen where the dog is, and then if he jumped the barrier, he would stop the electric shock. So all the dogs, 100%, jumped and they were free from the pain of the shocks. Now in group 2, the dogs was placed in the same cage, but the lever didn't stop to stop the shocks. What happened is they didn't have any control over the shocks, these dogs. And in the beginning they tried to fight, but because they was helpless to do something about this pain they were suffering, they start to accept pain. And so when they were placed in the second box, where there was shocks on the bottom, a barrier, same one as the group 1, and if they jump out, they out of the pain, what they saw is just 1 in every 3 dogs from the group 2 jumped for the other place where they were free of the shock. And the conclusion was they learn helplessness. So even though in the second environment they could be free of pain, they learn to just like, there is no solution, I'm helpless. Now this experiment was made in rats, in fish, in a lot of other animals, and they saw the same thing. So where on you there is this dog that learned helplessness? Now the good news is, after the same scientist, and he's great guy, he started to do other studies, and he discovered like we have at least 3 times the size of the frontal cortex, which have creativity, decision make, and we can take other decisions. And he thought like, wow, so we can learn helplessness, but we also can learn a new way, and we can change what we learn. So how can we empower these people that have trauma, learned something in childhood, or in your case probably in back pain? Let's say the doctor, which was a figure of power for you, may say that your back doesn't have solution, or just surgery is the solution, or you're gonna feel pain and there is this pill that don't quite work. So you learn that I'm gonna have this for life, I have a bad back, something like this. By this paradigm, by this concept, maybe you learn to be helpless. But there is another cage where there is a solution. Just cross this barrier of there is no solution to this one, where there is movements that can heal you, there is mobility that can heal you, there is exercise for the vestibular system can heal you. There's a whole lot of things we know nowadays that works beautiful for lower back pain. So what this guy discovered later on in his studies, the recent discovery, is empower people to be optimists, empower in the positive psychology. So he just get a concept, teach you how the optimists work, and they usually see things as temporary. So like, oh, I have a pain, but yeah, today I have a pain. It's not a pain forever. And he says like, as well, if you do the exercise and you improve, yes, I did everything I have to do it, so I improve it. So they recognize as well when they do something and they get some reward. And the pessimist will be like, I have this pain and it is forever. And when something happened, yeah, somehow this happened to me, but they don't take it as if it was their power that they got something. So he teaches the formula, and let's put the formula here of the optimist, dum, 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 and the pessimist. And this is a skill that you can feed and you can turn into an optimist, because the brain is malleable and there is neuroplasticity, so you can work on this. So we can get rid of helplessness and start to do a new concept, a new solution, and also be optimist. So all these things combined will transform your life, the way you see your life, and what is possible in life. After all, this body is amazing, and if something in the body is not able to heal, probably is because this paradigm, this concept is not able to heal, but there is other concepts that might be able to heal. So jump out of the shock cage and go for a place that there is no more shock. Jump out, and we will help you through the actions that really help you, and so you can believe that things can be different and you can experience things different. So I hope you enjoy. See on yourself everything that you feel that you cannot do, that will not change, and apply the concepts. That after all, it's just the way that the brain works. If you learn something, try again and again, and it puts you off and you got stuck and think there is no solution. Now you can do different. Apply the concepts of the optimist and go train again and again and again. Try different techniques in everything you do in your life, different concepts, as we are talking a lot about the pain, because that's our focus, but you can use for any part of your life, and you start living a life of freedom, joy, and happiness. We love you, and I see you in 2 days' time for our blog.